Are now live again, and mcdupper has scored the first point of the tournament, so we can go ahead and update that real quick. Let's go to the game overlay and go to the score. And update it.
And I was able to find it. I'm spectating.
Oh shoot! All right. Noob Tour. We have bboy versus mcdupper. bboy is playing as the Huns, and Inca is for mcdupper. Curious about these strategies. Nick, any thoughts on, or Dirty Nonprofit rather, any thoughts on the matchup, Huns versus Incas?
I like Incas on this. I mean, strong spear. Eagle Warrior is really good for raiding.
Yeah, Eagle Warrior is good for
Huns,
raiding.
I'd really like Cav Archers from Huns. I think they could do a lot of work on this.
Okay, nice. It's just kind of looking at what they're doing right now. Where are you in the game right now? I have 4 population for both of them. How about you? It looks like starting off we have all villagers going on to food for bboy, kind of starting out with his same build that he did in the first game. mcdupper this game is playing as our blue player and has sent 3 vills to food early and has made a house and is now making a second house. Sheep found for mcdupper is scouting around, and bboy has all villagers once again 6 on sheep, not moving the sheep around in the town center, but just kind of having them to the side of the town center. And Nick, do you want to talk about Acropolis, the map, at all? Or
Talk about the map?
Yeah, what do you think about Acropolis, Dirty Nonprofit, as a map?
This one is one of my favorites. I just love how just naturally defensive it is. It's almost like, because of the hill, you can kind of play a really strong defensive game, but it's still very you're still very vulnerable because of that tree line down there. So I think it's I find it's a lot of fun because it's just very defensive. You have to really build up a good army to take over the top. But at the same time, you have to kind of move that army and that defense around down to where you're more vulnerable at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, absolutely. I do agree with you. This map does turn out to be very aggressive. Just kind of real quick, I just want to point out bboy loses a villager, Ostertag special, to a boar, but does successfully lure the boar in at least within 3 to 4 tiles of his town center. So, you know, all things considered, not the worst thing in the world. However, probably not the best. Where are you right now in the game? Right now I have 10 villagers out for bboy. How about you? Are we synced up?
I am at 4 minutes 55 minutes.
55. All right, I'm gonna fast forward just a little bit to catch up to you. Or actually, do you want to slow down right now? I'm on 4:20, 4:30 right now.
Tell me when you're on 5 minutes 18 seconds.
Okay, I'll tell you when I'm 5:18. Right now I'm on 4:45. We have 2 boars in for bboy, who is playing as our yellow player. In the blue, we have mcdupper, who is just going wild, taking 3 sheep at a time, just like he doesn't care. He does not care about any of these sheep. He's going to take them all out. A concern about taking sheep, multiple sheep, is that they do begin to decay over time, and so if you don't have a lot of food, especially in the earlier ages, sometimes it does become harder to transition into other food sources, such as farms, which do cost wood, and as you know, since farms cost wood, they become a pretty expensive thing to handle if you're trying to build up villagers, advance to the next age, possibly build up a military all at the same time. Sorry I didn't warn you, Nick. I'm now at 6 minutes. 6 minutes.
You're at 6 minutes? Okay.
Sorry about that. Professional cast. As you guys know, we are a professional cast. This is a professional channel. We have 5 villagers going out to...
Alright, tell me when you get to 7 minutes.
We're now at 6:35, 6:37. 5 villagers going out for bboy on berries. 2 tiles away from his mill right there. And we are on 6:55, 6:56, 57, 58, 59, and 7. Alright, how are we doing? Right now I'm looking at Blue's base, and he has... mcdupper is shooting the boar at the town center and has successfully lured a boar within a tile of his TC. I'm actually kind of impressed.
That was a good boar lure.
It was a good boar lure, and he actually had the added bonus of damaging it with the TC.
Yellow's villagers are just going to town on those berries.
Yellow, if I highlight his berries, has 12 on berries, now moving 4 away. 4 to 5 now in front of his TC, sitting idle. Oh, they are taking these sheep, however. Yellow strategy is heavy food in early ages. 13 now on food and 3 on wood. What do you think about the difference in build styles from yellow to blue? I kind of feel like mcdupper has more of a traditional build, and bboy might be overcommitting a bit too many to food early. What do you think?
Maybe. I honestly think you can't go too wrong with going heavy on food early on. It looks like what it looks like is an AI just going all in on just a single resource at a time. But it also, I mean, like it could be like he wants to go early aggression, you know, just get a ton of food, pump out a bunch of scouts, go really hard right at the beginning.
One thing I may be worried about him is he is on 18 population heading up to feudal age. What do you feel about his population and heading up to feudal age with 18 population, bboy?
Yeah, that's really early.
Concern that I have is he has 8 villagers idle right in front of his town center. Oh, now he's tasked them. Also, he didn't scout his last 2 sheep, which he will find next to his deer.
Yeah, and I think for all going very all in on berries early on, I mean, there's no farms built up. I think he's going to, especially after clicking up, I think he's going to find very quickly that all his food's dried up, and he's not quite going to be able to make it to Castle Age.
Well, he might have a little bit of time if he builds a mill, I'd say, next to his deer. However, the concern is taking 1 deer with 8 villagers and walking them all back and forth to his town center might not be that efficient. Noting mcdupper is on his way to feudal age. Has 1 on gold, 11 on food, and 10 on wood. More of a traditional build, I'd say.
Yeah, I really like mcdupper's start.
We have 22 villagers for mcdupper. bboy still has 18 villagers, now 19. For a while there wasn't creating new villagers, but has compensated for quickly queuing up 5 villagers.
Alright, so Eric, when you play this map, or Mr. Tech, when you play this map, when do you normally go for wood?
So the side lumber...
Wood at the bottom of the...
So I like to build my second lumber camp on the bottom of the hill, next to one of the major wood lines. I haven't actually seen either of these players go for a second lumber camp in feudal age yet, as far as their first game is concerned. So maybe that's something
But
that we can look at. Actually,
when's
so I like to go with my second lumber camp, Dark Age on my transition to Feudal Age, at the bottom of the hill.
okay? So you build your first one up top.
Yeah, I like the first one up top.
Yeah, normally I go for the bottom and start building all my houses there, kind of in a circle around the tree line.
I don't think there's like a real like wrong approach to this. I think you can pull off both ways. Like for example, bboy has his lumber camp surrounding 3 of those small wood lines, and so I don't actually think that's like a terrible place. Like he will still have wood, and just kind of comparing that to mcdupper's lumber camp. mcdupper has
there's no spot like that really.
He has a more efficient lumber camp, but it will dry out a lot faster than bboy's will. So depending on how mcdupper transitions his wood economy, I think will be really telling in the long run for not really how this game will go. I don't think this will determine the game at all, but how efficient his wood economy might be in the next 5 minutes.
No, but if I had a wood line up top like bboy's, I'd definitely put a wood camp there. That's fine.
Now, bboy will get a big spike in food as those 8 villagers are now all dropping off food. Now they're all running to the town center. And they're hanging out there.
We're seeing a Hun archery range.
bboy is going for that same strategy that we had earlier. So last game he went for about 10 spears and some skirmishers. So my question is, do you think he will go for the spear skirmisher rush this time around? My big thing.
That's what it looks like is coming out of mcdupper.
mcdupper looks
I
like.
would actually.
Yeah. Sorry, go for it.
I'm just saying, like the number of wood choppers, the number of farmers, that looks more like skirms than archers.
3 spears forward for bboy. Now my question to you is, do you think bboy knows that Incas can't actually build stables? I'm tracking 3 yellow spears into mcdupper's base, and the first attack will be the town bell has been rung. Those 3 spears will go down quickly. So during non-profit, I am curious to see whether or not bboy will commit to his spear approach.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a controversial use of resources.
I would say against Incas, this might not be the play he wants to go for. Has queued up another spearman and an archer. And if you look at the front of Yellow's base, he has gone for the symmetrical build one of each military unit build.
Jay.
Now last game, it took quite a long time for Yellow to exit Feudal Age. Alright, so Nick, I know we talked about the lumber camp for mcdupper previously, but I just want you to take a look back at mcdupper's base and let me know what you think about his lumber economy after his first wood line ran out.
Yeah, I think those villagers are walking way too far. He definitely needs to go down the hill. How much has he scouted? Yeah, he just really, I mean, like, he really hasn't scouted that side wood line at all.
Now, last game he had tremendous scouting, but it doesn't look like he has his scout alive anymore. Oh, actually he does. His Eagle Scout is running around the back of...
Yeah, it's just kind of... Yeah, no, he really needs to go down and scout his wood lines. I think eventually he's just going to run out of wood and realize he just needs a new lumber camp. Especially look how many farms he has. Like, yeah, he's going to be out of wood very soon.
My question to you is, who do you think will build a second lumber camp first? mcdupper or bboy? Or bboy? I've been calling him bboy
I think mcdupper. Yeah, I mean, bboy's wood line is so good that I think he's gonna go like quite a while before he realizes that he's actually being pretty inefficient.
It looks like 4 villagers are taken off of bboy's lumber camp and dropped onto a mining camp. He is going on to stone first. Now, last game, he took about 30 minutes before he clicked up to Castle Age, but this game, he is going up to Castle Age quicker than mcdupper. This is a complete reversal from last game. And he's transitioning onto stone. Do you think we have a castle incoming for bboy early?
Yeah, I'm guessing knights are coming out next. I think with all those, I mean, like, I do not think those are towers, and I don't think those are town centers either. I think that is definitely a castle.
To me, it sure looks like a castle. And it also looks like he doesn't really want to invest too heavily into gold units, as he's pulled all of his gold miners off and stuck them onto stone.
But just no military production at all. So I mean, like, really curious to see sort of like what comes right out of the gate, especially if blue pushes forward. Yellow's got to start pushing out military.
You know, man-at-arms from Incas are no joke, as he has, mcdupper does have a lot of them. And if you look at mcdupper's resources, he is not far from clicking up. I would say, though, probably balance his economy, build a lumber camp, build a market, and he could advance if he wanted to.
Yeah, and I think it's really regrettable to invest so heavily in a military without like using it at all. That just kind of put him behind in terms of like he's later to Castle Age. You know, he should be using that military for map control.
I agree with you, Dear Nonprofit. I also see that blue is continuing to scout his opponent's base, and if you look at his Fog of War, he has yet to scout out his major wood lines on his side, so something to keep an eye on. Still concerned about his wood economy moving forward. Looking at mcdupper has built a second lumber camp, and I think you may be right. He may just chop every single tree on his little hill, on his plateau. Is this one his position between the 3 of his wood lines?
Yeah, and I think, right, because he's not gathering wood efficiently, I mean, I think that means when he finally does go to Castle Age, he's not going to be able to just like bust out a bunch of TCs like he had if he had been more efficient with.
I agree with you, Dear Nonprofit. However, since the initial wood lines from bboy have diminished significantly, we see similar wood income situation, I think, for both players.
Our stone miners are on the move. They're putting up a defensive castle.
A Hun castle. So, even with the early Castle Age, I just kind of want to check out the stats real quick. We have 40 villagers for mcdupper, 35 for bboy, and I would say that efficiency-wise, I think they're probably pretty even as far as how efficient they are with their villagers.
Yeah, it seems very even matched right now. Again, Blue's army just kind of like shuffling around. You can imagine if they were up there in that wood line, Blue would be causing all sorts of trouble for Yellow, even with that castle up.
I agree. That castle does secure that main gold, however, so I think that is nice. And look at this. bboy sending 9 villagers to the side of the map. Could this be a lumber camp on a big wood line? Or a TC.
All right, it's really, really exciting to see those pilgrims going down there.
This could be resources. Now, does he go for wood or does he go for gold and stone is my question. Now, something he might want to be concerned about is MC Duper will be hitting Castle Age at this point, and
Jay.
with no military on the, only 10 military actually on the map for bboy, this could be bad. MC Duper is teching into the second armor upgrade for infantry, as well as the first attack upgrade and elite skirmisher, and this will counter everything that bboy has. bboy,
and that's 14 of them queued up. They could do quite a bit of damage, and they've got all upgrades coming in.
So during nonprofit, I just want to ask you real quick about those villagers we saw from yellow walking to the south of the map that we were excited about. I was excited because we might see a wood line, but I don't think that's the case. If you check out,
No, look up north. There's another set of pilgrims who are finally going to the wood. Yellow is the first one to go down to their wood.
and what a lumber camp it is, only one tile away from a resource. This is incredible. Do you think this could change the game dramatically for the next 5 minutes? I certainly do.
Jay.
I will say this though, I have seen with the outpost in the last game and the expansion, I think that yellow does a really good job of controlling the map.
Jay.
The question for yellow is, yellow in the past game did not do a good job of grabbing upgrades.
Jay.
You see yellow has 10 archers on the front, but if you click on them, they don't have a single upgrade on them.
Did you want tomato?
Yeah, and they're only coming out one at a time. Thoughts on the choice of Tarkin?
Ooh, exciting stuff for blue, as MC Duper does place a lumber camp on a wood line in the north. And the expansion seems to be real. If he stabilizes economy, this could be big. However, bboy has caught up, or has started to catch up with villagers, as it's only a 5 villager difference for MC Duper. The military numbers look to be even as well, as there's 29 military for bboy and MC Duper with 27.
Jay.
Let's see, MC Duper has lost his eagle on the front, and it looks like a Tarkin switch for bboy. However, he does at this point have an armor and defense upgrade on his units for cavalry. Let's see, during nonprofit, do you see the upgrade coming in from the barracks for bboy?
Yeah, that's a good upgrade.
Definitely.
So very heavy into archers. Honestly, I'm really liking how bboy looks right now. I mean, he's well defended behind that castle. There's gold villagers in the corner, like mcdupper's scouting so bad. I feel like they're very safe. And yeah, as those archers come in and get upgraded along with some mobility, I think that looks like a really strong combination.
I agree as well, as crossbowman is in for our Hun player. However, still no fletching, no bodkin arrow, no defense upgrades. And maybe the tipping point, he feels like he can offset his advantage of not having crossbow upgrades if he has strong pikemen. So we will see what these pikemen can do against Incas. Castle on the front for MC Duper.
Jay.
And though the military units do seem to be a lot less now, as bboy has outboomed with military units his opponent, and it looks like bboy has
Jay.
a large military, if not a strong military.
And look, you got a little raiding party heading down south. bboy, if he goes in and hits that gold, I think that's really gonna slow down mcdupper.
Those Tarkins are actually the strongest units by far that bboy has, and they do take down buildings very quickly. I'm wondering if bboy actually knows what Tarkins are used for and how strong they can be against buildings. What do you think?
If he's sorry, can you ask that again?
Do you think that bboy is actually aware that Tarkins can take down buildings pretty fast?
I would probably not.
Yeah, my guess as well.
But regardless, I mean, like that's a lot of them, and he's probably going to be going after both villagers and buildings, anyways. So I think I think it's going to be a pleasant surprise.
I see this going to a game 3 as we have crossbows and pikes heading into the north side of mcdupper's base. The castle is out of position. I don't see a defense for this. If that wood line's found, I think that could be the game. Tarkin's coming in on the south side. If he's in the farm eco, if he takes out that TC and takes out the wood line at the same time, this could be the game right here.
Yeah, this looks very, very bad for mcdupper. Archers and pikes coming in, got some raids. Tarkins, no movement from them.
We got 4 villagers down already, 5 going down, a 5th going down. However, really no upgrades for mcdupper. Does release, town bell is in, another villager goes down, that's 5 vills down for mcdupper. Those pikemen do not really pack the punch. I do think, though, this army will be cleared away by mcdupper with his elite skirmishers. Nick, but if you look at the upgrades...
he should definitely be running. I think what could have been a really awesome position to kind of pincer that army and hit both of sort of their vulnerable units was kind of lost. But here you go, you do have a raid on the main eco with the Tarkins, and it looks like they might just... Are they going for villagers, or are they going for the TC?
They're going for the TC. He's going straight for the town center. This is incredible.
So that he was not pleasantly surprised at all. That looks like a master plan to me.
And this looks like someone who must
and he's going to get it.
And those Tarkins should run away, right? You have Kameuks chasing.
They should.
They should be able to escape. A town center placement for blue. I question the second placement of this town center.
That was an excellent play. That it was quite sneaky, but that is a great way to grab somebody's TC.
I think that was phenomenal. Now my next question here is,
I mean, the draw of the main army by the archers, even though they almost got killed in the process, but they did escape, and
now where does the game go from here? So somehow mcdupper lost his TC and still has a score lead. Villager count,
yeah, and
still quite
and
high.
honestly, that's a really powerful army right there. That definitely counters yellows. So 18 of these Kameuks, those will just tear through those Tarkin.
And my question is, Tarkins looks like it's going to be the play for yellow, but his secondary unit he's going into is pikemen. So I question as well, do you think that Tarkin and pikemen will do well against whatever blue has?
No, I think that the Tarkin has proved to be a good choice so far. I wish he would continue going into archers, though, instead of pike. Again, because Incas do not have cav, like the spear line just isn't really.
So here's kind of what my analysis of the players so far. I like yellow's overall understanding of strategy games and strategy. I think yellow understands hey, intuitively I need to move my units like this and attack like this. But I think that MC Duper's knowledge of Age of Empires is a lot stronger. So on one hand, there's Age of Empires knowledge, on one hand, there's
he's
strategy
definitely
knowledge.
producing a lot more.
So if you look, population's actually not too far off. You have about 100 for MC Duper, 111 for bboy. The kill-death ratio, though, is what really gets me, is it's 45 to 14 in favor of MC Duper. And we have an engagement here with the military. Some Kameyuks are chasing around Tarkins. So I think if I had to guess, and maybe you can come up with some analysis as well, this game is going to end either with bboy winning by taking out all of MC Duper's buildings, or MC Duper winning by holding out until he has just such a big ball of military that he can just run through and destroy bboy's base.
I think we're definitely heading towards a big ball situation. bboy definitely had a lot of momentum. I think really could have cleared blue out. But I think blue recovered. If anything, it kind of initiated him getting a second TC. So yeah, really like where mcdupper is sitting. I think the spears are devastating. Like even if it's only a couple against the Tarkins, like they should do an incredible amount of damage.
Right now in the front of MC Duper's base, 23 Kameyuks. And these things will shred cavalry. They do have an extra range, so they're able to stack up on top of each other and just really punish cavalry as they come in. MC Duper right now seeding some farms around his second TC that he built, and he actually built another TC on his original TC spot. And his score continues to grow, his score lead over bboy.
And there comes another mcdupper castle. Played defensively.
I see that right there. And that should really secure that little spot right there. I would have liked to see that castle a little closer to his villagers, because if there is a raid, then his villagers can jump into it. That is a lot of Tarkins, if you see that big ball in the middle.
So both players, but especially mcdupper, is floating a lot of resources. He should really be considering going Castle Age right now.
Or Imperial, yeah. I agree.
Or Imperial.
mcdupper should click up. The question is, will he see it? A lot of gold floating for bboy.
And that is a huge ball. I mean, you have the castles filled with people as well. I mean, like, the Tarkins can kind of be annoying at this point, but especially if he's keeping those spears at home, I think the Tarkins are going to really struggle to do any real damage.
We have Cav Archer in for our Huns player on the left side, and he is microing. An issue I do have, though, is he still only has fletching on his Cav Archers. However, at least he has fletching, right? And the Kameyuks and King Swordsman catch up and clean up that raid.
Yeah, and that happens to the best of us. You're microwing, you're doing an awesome job, then you forget that you're microwing, do something else, you come back, everybody's dead.
So I definitely do like the ideas that bboy has, maybe just kind of harder to execute. Now, just looking down to the south of MC Duper's base, we have a big ball of Tarkins that are on the move. Now, I think this is the right call to go around his base, not try to engage his main force, and use his mobility to try to cause as much damage as possible.
Yeah, and there's not a ton of damage he can cause. I mean, like, hit those farmers in the back, but I think we're going to see an early town bell. And the gold's protected by the castle. Alternatively, you saw him kind of go for the castle last time, and actually do a good amount of damage.
That's
murder holes is not research, so I mean, like, that castle is not actually that safe.
And here comes the raid, and these Tarkans are strong. They do have a lot of pierce armor. The second armor upgrade is not in, but the second armor upgrade is in, and they do have the +2 armor or attack in as well. And they will tank arrow fire. These they are strong, and look at them go to work on these farms.
Yeah,
If
they
they
are.
want to hit anything, it's definitely the farms. Now, unfortunately, by hitting just farms and mills, this gives MC Duper a chance to pull his big ball of military to the back and defend. Now, maybe they have enough time to grab a TC, snipe a TC, or hit the wood line, but it looks like MC Duper has pulled all of his villagers with the town bell. And they should take out this monastery before this ball of military can catch up to him.
Looks like they're backing up. I'm a bit worried. They look a little bit trapped. It is definitely time to get out, and not in that particular direction. Looks like he caught that, and he's not going to get.
Now, bboy did explain to me that he does know about Age of Empires, having played before, and he loves the game. However, when he saw the list of civilizations, he was really surprised with all the new civilizations that were. So I suspect he might not know anything about the Incas, or anything about them not having a stable or anything like that. Imperial
That's true.
Agent or MC Duper. A lot of resources still being floated by bboy. However, still does not have enough food to click up. Could buy his way up if he wanted to. The villager counts are even.
Yeah, and I think mcdupper, right, that raid picked off a couple villagers. I mean, like, the farms doesn't really count for that much wood. Like, I mean, it just, yeah, if anything, I think mcdupper might have even come better off in that trade-off by picking off a couple of Tarkin.
I agree, and it looks like a switch is going to be Cav Archer coming in for bboy. And how do you like the Cav Archer switch for bboy?
Is this the end for the Tarkins? That's going to really hurt.
Now, these Tarkins are running slow, and I have to wonder, do you think he knows about the husbandry upgrade?
Yeah, again, I'm guessing no. But I do think he did know about the extra damage to the buildings. But you see him coming back. The raid is not over.
The raid is not over.
And makes me wonder if blue is going to be able to get those walls up. But yeah, he really has it up for that mill. That mill is going to...
He came back for that mill. Definitely out of the box strategy, as he identified early that mill was damaged and decided, hey, what if I do sacrifice HP and a few Tarkins as long as I come back and take out that mill?
Although, I mean, like, has caused quite a bit of idle time with those raids. I do think that does a lot of damage. Yeah, mcduper's army is still looking great. Would really like to see yellow kind of start to skirmish with some of this, right? Like, the archers, I think like the archers are really yellow's biggest advantage here, and kind of thing he really needs to focus on to have a chance against so many spears.
I agree.
I mean, he's the Huns.
So he does have quite a bit of archers, cavalry archers out on the map. My big concern for him is he still only has fletching. He did just advance to Imperial Age, however. And we'll see how strong his military is once he combines it all. He did keep his Tarkins alive.
But there are a lot of great places those Tarkins can go. I mean, like that wood line, that golden stone. He's right there. I think we're going to have an awkward interaction here. Here is a monk going to get a relic while a castle is being built like right on top of it, and a horde of Tarkans are right there. I think the monk might get away with it.
I think so as well, but I think it's going to depend on whether or not mcdupper realizes his monk has grabbed the relic and decides to run
just
back.
Standing there.
Now,
that monk is super dead.
Now, question is, do you think the castle will go up and kill the monk first, or mcdupper will
I
realize
do
it
believe
and
that
run
monk
the
is going to
back?
get killed by a castle.
We'll go back
Good
to
little raid from yellow. Got all those golden stone miners. You see mcdupper putting up a wall.
That wall has gone up
There's
on the
the
side.
monk.
And
I told you this interaction would be awkward.
the Tarkans once again bypass the monk, go around the monk.
I knew the monk is going to get killed.
Oh,
by the
there he
castle.
goes, the monk's
And there
moving,
goes
the monk's
monk.
moving.
There goes the monk.
And there's no fletching,
The monk is gonna
there's
get
no
out of it.
bodkin, no,
I think-
he walks
Oh.
right into it.
Oh, just picked up. I really, at the last minute, I changed my mind and I thought the monk was going to get away.
Wow. If he had moved his monk 1 second earlier, he could have made his monk all the way back. What a play.
Yeah, so you just see just amazing castle timing from yellow. I mean, like, only 4 villagers. That is just perfectly efficient.
Now, next question is, whose lumber camp is more efficient? Wow, big fight in the middle. Did not see that coming. Long swords, Hanaus against Cav archers, pikemen, and two-handed swordsmen. Now, who takes this engagement?
Looks like blue. But yellow's going to retreat to the castle. I certainly blue cannot push up that.
I would really like to see Bodkin Arrow come in for yellow.
And those Cav archers, I think they're the right unit. They're just not being played right. They're just kind of being sent to their death, not running away. They are getting kind of some bonus castle fire, but it's not really doing them any favors. But really great raiding, counterattacking from yellow. I don't really, blue can't get up that hill. I don't really see anything to follow it up. So I think even if yellow's taking inefficient losses, I think it's all going to get cleaned up.
Oh,
eventually.
mcdupper's base's castle goes down as Tarkans come in and
There
clean
it
it up.
is.
As all his cameos were out of position to defend that castle from the Tarkan raid. Now, with Tarkans on the map, I question this palisade wall that's going up around mcdupper's base on the top-hand side.
Wait, you said there's a paladin?
Palisade wall. So mcdupper has a
Oh,
palisade wall.
palisade.
Now, my next question is, this lumber camp is actually on the other side of the palisade wall as... What do you think about this palisade wall going up between this lumber camp? Do you think he will rebuild it?
I think it's more of a question if the villagers are going to go right towards the castle or left towards the hole in the wall.
Do you think he's going to notice and rebuild a lumber camp, or is he just going to let the villagers run around?
Looks like there's another TC being built in the corner, and that's I really like that as an insurance policy for blue. It also it does not solve the lumber camp question though, because there are holes on either side of the wall.
It might if he completes that wall, though. Then they won't have to run all the way around the castle.
Well, we have another awkward interaction coming up. Yellow's villagers coming up to the stone camp where blue just reset up camp. Extremely uncomfortable, but they just set it up right next to each other.
Now, do you think either of them will notice and send a military there to deal with each other?
It looks like Tarkans are coming through. I think they're going to clean it up again.
Tarkans are coming out. I'm tracking the Tarkans now. And
McDupper does have like quite a few more vills though, so I think he can handle that a lot better.
there are 74 vills out
And
for
there
Duper and
comes the
59
Tarkin.
for bboy. And once again, MC Duper seems to be running his military back and forth across the map. And the town bell is in as the Tarkin hit the gold mine. Now this is dangerous. I really want to see MC Duper get his cameos over quickly. Just because if those Tarkins do find the wood line and the TC in the left-hand side, it's going to be very painful. That is a lot of cameos.
So I think next we need to see some siege from McDupper, right? And the Kameyuks are not Tarkins; they cannot take those castles down.
I would love to see some siege from McDupper. However, he is still building up his military of champions that he has, and so maybe with champion, he will have enough damage output to be able to. And look at that. From his barracks, he has arson coming in. And what do you think about the arson upgrade combined with champions? Do you think this...
I think that is an absolutely essential upgrade at this point.
Arson, I think, and champion could end this game if McDupper is to run in right now to bboy's base.
I don't think it would go well right now. There's just the castles protect those TCs very well. Without siege, without something to punch out those castles, I mean, he doesn't have mobility. He can't raid that efficiently.
It feels like, I think MC Duper feels the same way, as we have trebuchets on the way out from the castles for MC Duper. And it looks like this is the same play that he made last game. Goes for a siege workshop. I'm predicting Captaram, trebuchet, and infantry pushing towards his bboy's base and right through those castles. What do you think? This looks like to be the...
And I think that should secure him the game, because it forces an engagement from yellow to try and kill those treb, and he just cannot take on this. So I think unless blue really throws that this should get him the game.
Now maybe we have 14 pikemen out for yellow and 7 more queued up. So maybe if he has enough pikemen out, he can confuse blue enough into switching into another unit that is effective against pikes.
Confuse him into deleting his long spears to make enough population space for a different unit.
I think that's the only play. Now, the lumber camp issue. What do you think about the lumber camp for MC Duper in the south as more Tarkins come in and raid?
No, I think he's got that one protected by a TC. I think that should be fine. Those Tarkins probably still could take it down, but I think he's going to just be reactive to wood, and if he runs out, he'll probably... I mean, like, he's down at the bottom now. He'll probably just build more lumber.
Now looking, here comes an engagement with the Tarkins coming in. Kameyuks, trebuchets pushing that castle, and that castle will go down as those Tarkins cannot engage those Kameyuks. Military for yellow coming in, and I am scared for yellow's military, as those Kameyuks and champions are strong. And I really just think a handful of them will be able to clean up anything yellow has at this point. Tarkins run around and are hitting the trebuchets. MC Duper, though, with good micro, is over there to push away all the Tarkins before they're able to really react. And Champions in front, taking out the pikemen. Have archers with only fletching still, going down to the champions. And I really think that after that castle on the hill is taken out, this game's over.
Definitely. This seems pretty over to me.
Now, something that MC Duper might not know is there's only 4 military buildings, excluding the castle for yellow. If he just takes out his military buildings, which he's actually sieged up to do right now, bboy has no way to produce more military. And that is a lot of Kameyuks. That is just a massive army of Kameyuks for blue. Look at that military, 53 Kameyuks.
Yeah, that's the big ball that you'd predict.
And once those trebuchets start sieging up that castle, I cannot see anything other than the GG coming in. Expensive trebuchets going down for yellow on the side. MC Duper running away with Kameyuks. Trebs on the move on the way out. Presumably to start cutting down that castle. More Trebs coming forward for MC Duper. 2 more Trebs in the queue. And if you look at bboy is only producing military out of 1 building right now.
Yeah, no military build. An incredible amount of resources, though. Yellow could have a ball of skirmishers up in no time with that amount of resources.
Yellow could have a ball of almost any military with those resources. Yellow is ready to go.
Yeah.
However, another concern is...
Yeah, hoarding here is definitely not the move.
Yellow only does have 49 villagers, so... With 7 queued up, though, so... And that castle is down, and that was the defense for this hill. Now, however, as the GG comes in, let's just go back to... I'm just going to return to the map real quick and maybe just like point out some things about this map that you saw.
Yeah.
I do like the ending lumber camp with the gate, as the villagers could run in and out of the gate to their lumber camp for protection.
There's a solution. Or alternatively, just around the entire wall.
That golden stone mine in the south ended up being MC Duper's, as he was persistent and kept on sending vills out there even though they died. I felt like MC Duper did a better job of rebooming his population and villagers every single time they were killed.
Yeah, definitely from just really professionally. I mean, like, the thing is just like at the end of the day, there was just never a counter for the Kameyuks coming out. Whether it was like archer, skirms, anything range would have done a lot against Blue's army. So you never saw enough cav archers to come out, or they just sort of like let themselves die. But yeah, I think especially with that much food and wood stored up, skirm should have been. It would have been